Hello Realtor University students. In this video in the series Realtor University LibTips, a series where we present common student research scenarios and provide quick and easy solutions, we will discuss the components of meal paragraphs so you can keep this helpful tool in mind while writing papers. Just as an effective paper is comprised of an introduction with a thesis statement, a body, and a conclusion, effective paragraphs should follow similar logic. One easy tool to use when writing paragraphs is to think of the acronym MEAL: Main Idea, Evidence, Analysis, and Link. Using an RU student paper on the National Association of Realtors and Department of Justice regulatory model as an example, let's take a closer look at these components. We'll focus on one paragraph about antitrust and the pre-settlement environment in particular. The first component of a paragraph should be its main idea, the M in MEAL. While the main idea is often found in a paragraph's first sentence, sometimes it's found in the second or third sentence. And just because a MEAL describes 4 components doesn't mean the paragraph should be limited to 4 sentences. Just keep these components in mind when constructing your paragraphs. Note that some paragraphs will discuss several topics, but the initial sentences within the paragraph must give the reader a clear idea of all the ideas the paragraph will discuss. The next components of a paragraph should be evidence and analysis, the E and A in MEAL. This will be the bulk of your paragraph in which you support or prove your paragraph's main idea. We're discussing evidence and analysis together here because they work together. Evidence is provided and then analyzed, but not necessarily in that order. And one paragraph may contain more than one set of evidence plus analysis. That is, you might provide some evidence and analyze it, and then provide more evidence and analyze that. You might also offer some analysis and then provide evidence to support it, which reverses the order of E and A, but that's okay as long as your paper flows logically. For instance, if you provide a direct quote and then an explanation of that quotation's meaning, the direct quote is evidence and your explanation is analysis. Your evidence will come from a variety of sources, such as journal articles, interviews, a quotation or paraphrase, an image, or even an anecdote or personal experience. In every case, your evidence should not stand alone. In their tools on MEAL paragraphing, the folks at Duke University Writing Center describe this situation very well. They say, if you leave your evidence unexplained, your reader may interpret it differently than you intended, and if that happens, your main idea doesn't get the support it needs. So, always provide analysis by explaining the evidence. You can refute it, agree with it, unpack its meaning, or suggest implications, but you must provide some analysis. The final component to MEAL is L, or link. Some schools writing about MEAL paragraphs note that L means link back to the larger claim, as in, use the final sentences in your paragraph to articulate how this paragraph fits into the broader context of the paper or how it supports your thesis. A reader should never finish a paragraph and wonder why it's in your paper. This is very good advice, and it's something you should be thinking about while constructing all the sentences in your paragraphs, not just the final ones. Recall that our example paper is about the NAR-DOJ regulatory model, and this particular section is about the environment leading up to the settlement. So it makes sense that our final sentences in this section conclude with the date on which the suit was filed. Other schools note that L means link, as in transition. In this sense, the final sentences within a paragraph should link to the topic sentence or main idea of the next paragraph, so it acts as a bridge. This sets the reader up to anticipate what the next paragraph will be about. This is a good place to use transitional phrases, such as finally or however. These phrases help the reader understand relationships between paragraphs as well as your logical flow. You can see the next paragraph provides more detail about the lawsuit, so the final sentence works well as a transition here. That's it. When writing paragraphs, keep meal in mind. That concludes this video in the Realtor University LibTips video series. Stay tuned for future videos in this series, where we cover a variety of research and writing tips of interest to Realtor University students. Please feel free to contact us with suggestions for future LibTips, research guidance, and writing help.